Hello and welcome to day 5 of the British Open Wheelchair Tennis Championships at the Nottingham Tennis Centre. We have 4 matches for you today live. First off, it is the men's singles semi-final between Alfie Hewett and Gordon Reid. You can see them there just about ready for the toss. Then we'll have the women's doubles final, followed by the men's doubles final. And to round things off, it is the quad doubles final involving Britain's Anthony Cottrell and Andy Lapthorne. So we are ready. The weather forecast is not great for the next couple of hours. We hope we'll get this game underway, this match underway between the world number 2 and now world number 3. A repeat of the Rio final, of course, in the Paralympics last year. Very happy to welcome to the rather windy commentary position that we have here on centre court, Geraint Richards, who is the former director for Tennis Foundation. Geraint, welcome to the coverage here from Nottingham. Hope you're okay, and here we go.
Thank you very much. First experience for me, looking forward to it, and looking forward to what could be a really exciting match between our top 2 men.
Do you know, I think I've detected, for probably the first time I've ever seen Alfie Hewett looking a bit nervous. Is it because there's now an expectancy of him? He's reached a world high for him of number 3, and now he's only 1 place behind Gordon. It's actually quite close. They are doubles partners, of course. They know each other's games intimately. But there's now maybe the expectancy that Alfie can beat Gordon.
I think you're absolutely correct. I think, on the back of winning the Roland Garros Grand Slam, I think, and having a good Wimbledon, I think Alfie's in the ascendancy. So there is an expectation. I think that has a different sense of pressure put on him. And I think he knows that he can win this one today. And it could be very exciting.
How much of a fillip, how much encouragement will have winning the French Open title given to Alfie this year?
It got him on a huge high. I mean, the way he won it as well. If you recall, he was 6-love, 2-love down in about 20 minutes. And we were all on the sides just praying that he wouldn't get annihilated. But he just hung in there. He just showed so much fight and then came back and won it in 3 sets. And that's given him so much confidence against a player in Gustavo Fernandez who's on a high confidence-wise as well. So yes, so Alfie's flying at the moment.
Also, he's done it here as well. He, in a way, kind of a strange, perverse way, he seems to quite like adversity. He likes to be coming from behind, or likes those kind of little scraps, those little battles to come back from.
Yeah, Alfie is extraordinary as a player. He loves the big stage. He loves the challenge, and for someone as young as 19, it's not very common at all. And when he's put under pressure, that's when he really starts playing his best tennis.
What about, let's talk about the 2 players here, how their games match up. Obviously, it's different. One's a lefty, one's a righty, so that's something that has different dynamics. But how do their games match up for this encounter?
I think, well, Gordon's always had that real control. He's got such a brilliant tennis brain. He anticipates so well, and he knows where to place the ball. But he's got all the flair, he's got the spins, he's got the slices. Alfie, a bit more aggressive player, hits the ball a lot harder. So whether that will have any effect today in this wind as well, that Alfie can hit through the wind, will be very interesting as well. My big hope is that Alfie has a good start, because if he gets a good start, his confidence will be there, and then we should have a really good match.
How much has he matured in the last 12 months? Because when these 2 met in Rio in September last year, it was pretty much a cakewalk for Gordon. 6-2, 6-1. Alfie didn't really ever get moving. A year on, how much has he improved, do you think?
Since Rio, Alfie's just really gone from strength to strength. And all these wins, all this confidence that he's getting, all the maturity he's showing, he really has improved. I think, credit to Gordon at Rio. He had everything to lose, Alfie had nothing to lose, so Gordon played a fantastic game and did school him a little bit. But it's all part of Alfie's learning curve, and he's come back from that, and he's pushed on, and he's now, as you said earlier, world number 3, 19 years old. Fantastic.
They know each other's games intimately because they are doubles partners. So what do they gain from that in terms of knowing what the other one can do and what they're capable of?
I think that's where it all comes down to the mind games as well, because you you think you know what your opponent's going to do because you know them so well, and can you bluff and can you double bluff? So it's going to be extremely exciting.
So the number 2 in the world, Gordon Reid, that's our umpire for the day. Did you find out who it was?
Jane Clark from Wales.
Thank you very much. Sent him off on an errand about 10 minutes ago and he's come back with the information. So Jane Clark in the chair, Alfie Hewett at our commentary box end. There he is on screen with the turquoise and white combination. Gordon's still in Wimbledon colours, it seems. Still with a majority white. So we'll see what happens here. The 2 Brits. Gordon was number 1 at the end of 2016. I'd love to get in there, but Fernandez is looking very good. And of course, there is another semi-final going on the far court. We'll try and keep you across that as best we can. Start with Fernandez, now the world number 1 against the former world number 1, Stefan Houdet. Fernandez is looking very, very good this year, which is why that win for Alfie in Paris kind of put into context, I think, because since then Fernandez, I think, has been pretty much unbeaten, hasn't he?
I think he has, and yeah, Gustavo is a very big confidence player, and once he gets confidence, it's very hard to stop him and stop that momentum. And so he's playing very well at the moment, and I've got him down to beat Houdet today.
Gordon Reid came through in 3 in the quarterfinals against Nicholas Pfeiffer, 7-5, 6-1. He actually let the second set go. Came back with a vengeance, 6-2. Straight sets, but not an easy straight sets for Alfie to get to the semi-finals against Gerard. 7-6, 7-6, 5-2 down in the second. 2 set points down as well before he came through in straights. That serve is really quite a weapon these days.
Yeah, Alfie struggled with his serve recently, but he's now using it as a weapon and getting some good points with it.
And making full use of the windy conditions, because it's a bit swirly, the wind here, which are helping the server at this end. Backhand wing not strong with Alfie, is it? I always think when he goes on the forehand, it looks a bit more.
A lot more confidence on his forehand, but his backhand is, if you watch his backhand, the racket head speed is absolutely phenomenal, which means that's when he gets so much spin and so much power.
Great rally. Great finish too from Alfie Hewett.
40-15.
Nice comfortable hold then for Alfie, just dropping 1 point on his serve, and looking like he's maybe banished some of those nerves. And the opening game on the board for Hewett.
Yeah, good confident start there for Alfie, hitting some clean winners out the middle of the racket there. So Gordon actually looking a little bit as though he's just trying to find his rhythm. So Alfie needs to make sure he takes advantage of a slower start by Gordon.
Outdoor conditions obviously a little bit more problematic than what they're used to. So
Gordon Reid serve.
kind of blowing into our commentary box, blowing into the back of Gordon Reid as he gets ready to serve. Love one.
Love 15.
Not the start he would have wanted.
Love 13.
It's pretty clear who's settled down the best early on here.
Absolutely. Gordon just being a little bit passive here at the moment, not going after that ball, and Alfie taking full advantage.
Oh, that's a shot and a half, isn't it?
That's what Alfie's brilliant at. Just doesn't hold back, sees an opportunity, sees a space, and he hits it. From under a bit of pressure as well.
Yes, that's right. Forced out wide, but correct forehand down the line. So there's 2 points on the game, and Gordon serves all over the place.
15-14.
Should have made that.
Yeah, can't let those opportunities go. Got to make your opponent play. Don't want to give Gordon any cheap points and let him get into this match.
Juice.
Well, from 15-40 to deuce. Gordon's not really had to do much to earn those points, though. Find a first serve there.
Advantage Hewett.
Third break point. No, that's a juice. That's all. Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Quietly. Net for serve. Juice. Advantage Reid.
Brilliant. Well, that's what he's capable of. Just hasn't been able to do it when he's had break points.
Absolutely. It feels like it's a little bit of a chess match at the moment. They're still testing each other out and they're not exploding onto the scene.
Backhand again. Highlighted that early in the first game. The backhand still, to me, has got a lot of work to do in that.
Which makes it very interesting in that he's number 3 in the world, he's won some Grand Slams, so we still know that there's more to come.
Right on the baseline.
Great tap.
All right, maybe I'll take it back.
I was going to say, what were you saying about his backhand? That one looked all right.
It was all right. Right on points, that did. Talking of points, important points. Great return, that. And the game. Took advantage this time. And just certain elements of Gordon's game not quite clicking. Certainly the first serve, isn't it?
First serve's not firing, and yeah, just for me, just a little bit passive still. Just needs to start to take that ball on and push Alfie around the court a little bit more, and maybe create a few more opportunities.
So 2-love with an early break for the new world number 3, number 4 seed here, but elevated to 4 from 4 to 3 this week.
15 love.
Really composed Gordon. His game's not quite there at the moment. For reasons that aren't apparent. Nice double from Alfie. That's the ability, isn't it, to make that ball just sit very low, doesn't bounce up, and very hard to scoop it up from a chair in particular.
Yeah, very, very effective slice which stays low.
Looking good. Yeah, that was a rapid way to conclude game number 3. And Alfie in no mood to hang around because the forecast is that we may get some rain in the next hour or so. We are outdoors. So the day looks okay, but the next couple of hours a little slightly dicey weather forecast. But Alfie off and running. 3-love. And we were talking right at the beginning of the commentary about the expectation levels. So probably a year ago. So we will look a bit of Alfie in action. There's that backhand I was talking about, which actually was very successful on that occasion. obviously still got elements of his game to work on because he is 19, not 20 till the end of this year. And the fact he actually made that final in Rio was way above his expectations. I think he was ranked 10th, wasn't he, in Rio?
That's correct, yes, yeah. Yeah, you know, of all the players he wanted to play Nicolas Piffer from France in the first round, and that's who he drew. So that was a good omen. And then the only other person that he beat in the top 10 was Stefan Olsson, and he beat him as well. And then the match against Gerard, we weren't expecting a win, and from 5-2 down again showed tremendous resilience and determination, and made the final. Well, it was out of or beyond our wildest dreams.
So weather conditions for that quarter-final were a bit different to how they are today. About 20 degrees difference, I think you'll find. It's a very tight court here, so not a great turning circle at the back. Oh, almost got there. It's one of his trademarks.
Yes, yeah, and that's where Gordon is so good as well. His hands are so soft. What he can manufacture at the net is just absolutely brilliant.
Ooh, I'm hanging around with that. You knew what I was saying earlier on. So they're clicking into place now. I'll show you, he says. I'll show you. What were you saying a couple of games ago about my backhand? How many winners on the backhand since then? Pretty much all of them, actually.
I think it's a confidence thing as well, as with most sports. You know, once you're confident, a lot of things come.
Lovely roll forehand. He enjoyed that too. A little fist pump after that.
Yeah, very accurate and very good depth.
Too good. That's a good tactic. And that's why he is. Why these two have been so good in doubles. That's exactly what they do to their opponents.
Absolutely.
Oh, it worked. I thought he was going to go down the line. It went cross court instead, but still successful. Again, the Reid serve under pressure. Needs a first serve.
Leg, replay the point.
So he got one. He didn't. A few times there I thought Alfie had that point one. Ultimately, Gordon another with the cross-court drop shot, doing for his doubles opponent, and he knows he should have won that point too.
Yeah, very good hustling from the back of the court there from Gordon. Good pushing, good retrieving, and making Alfie hit one more shot and actually winning the point.
Advantage Reid. Next second serve. Game Reid.
Going for broke. And Gordon on the board at last. Taking 4 games, but
Here we see
finally
3
there
games to 1
again.
first set.
Maybe a game Alfie should have won.
Yeah, we always look at certain points in matches that can change the flow, change the momentum. I just wonder if that was one of them. He could have been 4-love up, and a big difference between 4-love and 3-1.
Still playing well. Not really had any problems on his serve so far. Just upping the intensity on that forehand as well. Touche, mon brave.
Very good push from Alfie there to get that and directly into the corner.
Clever tactic. Go behind the receiver.
40 love.
Another okay backhand.
Yeah, maybe I'll shoot. I think I'll be ploughing that furrow for a bit. Yeah. Well, he's one of the best returners in the wheelchair tennis game, Gordon. Done it again. Nearly asked for the ball there, Alfie. Thank you. That's very kind. Oh, that was a very long rally, which Alfie was working hard over the 2. Gordon was pretty much just staying in the same position and revolving around, whereas Alfie was covering a lot of court there.
Yeah, Gordon seemed to be dominating that point and dictating it, and then finished it with a great little short slice.
Just a bit of pressure on the Hewett serve first time. Yeah, his volleying occasionally in Rio let him down as well. And just get a little bit cranky with himself at deuce. A little chunter. Oh, it's in. Brilliant.
Great touch from both players there, and great speed and pushing there by Alfie to hit that ball as a winner.
Second double. Good and deep. And no reply from Gordon. So Alfie retrieving the position. Oh yes, and a big come on off the back of that. Yeah, was annoyed with himself there because that's probably the worst service game. And off the back of what you were saying before, game before he probably should have won. And now we've been talking about 5 love instead of 4-1, but it's still very much in the ascendant.
Yeah, and again, you know, terrific mental strength from Alfie there, you know, in a very commanding position. Game points, comes in, misses a fairly straightforward volley, then hits a double fault to get back to deuce, and then probably thinking this could be 3-2 instead of 5 love. But then comes out with a service winner and a really fantastic ace out wide, and back to 4-1.
It's interesting that his demeanour and Gordon's are very, very different. They weren't brilliant as doubles partners, probably because of the yin and yang of those two, because Gordon's demeanour rarely changes, you know, apart from the end of a game or end of a match. When he's won it, he might get very excited. But you can see what Alfie's thinking, what Alfie is going through. Whereas Gordon, win or lose a point, hard really to tell by his demeanour.
Yeah, very steady player, and as you said, can't read him, so don't know what's going on really inside him, whereas Alfie wears his heart on his sleeve. And sometimes that's a good thing, because it shows your opponent that you're going to chase and you're going to be passionate. Sometimes it's a bad thing if your head's hanging a little bit. So.
1-4 then, first set. And still that first serve is deserting him, can't find one. Cross-court forehand is a thing to behold. A thing of joy when it's working. As it did there. Obviously in this case, backhand, cross-court, not forehand.
That's the first one we've seen him sort of open his shoulders a little bit and let rip a little bit. And that's what he needs to do to get back into this set.
Yeah.
50 all.
Seeing examples here of why they are ranked number 2 and 3 in the world.
Great racket head speed again, getting that ball up and down, over that net and down into the corner.
Ooh, right on the line.
30 all.
The backhand winner.
Interesting to see the stats at the end of the match.
Yes. I will be looking at them. I'm sure he will, though. Right, how's that first serve gone?
Patience, man.
40,
Patience.
30. You.
First double from Gordon. Back in trouble again. It's so much easier when you've got a first serve in, isn't it? To control the point.
Absolutely. Although the serve isn't as dominant as in able body tennis, it just gives you that confidence as well if you can get that first serve.
Net first serve.
What you can do about that?
You. Advantage Reid. Getting Reid.
Yeah, Alfie won't be very happy with that. Another chance maybe to capitalise and get another game against the Reid serve. But it's now 2-4. Alfie on serve. Just a couple of points, couple of errant points there. But for the most part, he's still on top, very much on top. 2 games away from taking this first set. Getting abused by everybody, aren't you?
Love 15.
Just wonder if this is the time for Gordon to strike, because Alfie's game's just gone off a little bit.
Just gone off the boil a little bit, and you're absolutely right. Gordon needs to take advantage of this.
Well, that was the old 1-2 punch there from Alfie. Good serve, nice wide serve, and taking the player virtually out of court.
Simple game, really, isn't it?
It's played well. Yeah, all his service games, bar one, have been fairly straightforward for Alfie so far. 5-2. We can swing round and see what's happening on the adjoining court, court 6. 5-2 here. Alfie Hewett 5-2 up, and
just pictures there of former LTA president Kathy Sabin, who's always been a great supporter of wheelchair tennis, and braving the wind and the cold weathers to come and support the boys again.
Well, we can't see the scoreboard over there. I might have to stand up. Looks like the first set has already been completed over on court 6, the adjoining court. So the guys can see. I might have to stand up as we'll see. We can see. It looks like Fernandez has taken the first set 6-3. That's what's happened there. So the world number 1 forgets the former world number 1, Stefan Houdet. Watch a bit of Gordon in action here.
Time.
That's the 1-2 punch I was talking about, which very effective for Alfie. Well, these two are very great in their chairs in terms of manoeuvrability, but there's only so much you can do. 5-2 to Hewett. Now back on the Reid serve, so he has to in this game stay in the set. Side spin on that was unbelievable, like a boomerang.
Again, Gordon's got such fantastic hands, and what he can do to the ball is phenomenal. Sometimes goes a little bit too much though.
Never serve.
There's a forehand, winning this time. Everyone wants to talk to you when you're on the microphone here.
It's actually Alfie's girlfriend who is biting her nails, wishing Alfie all the best.
It's working. What she's doing is working. What he's doing is working too.
30-15.
She's not ready for that. Don't lip read. Alfie, please. Like Andy Lapthorne, you can't hear him, just read it.
40-15.
Nice lefty serve out wide. First serve in, point 1.
Reid.
It's the most comfortable hold he's had so far.
5-3. First set.
A few more first serves in, and yeah, most dominant service game he's had.
Alfie now with the balls on his racket. Take the first set. The double break.
Love.
First ace.
Great serve.
Oh, yes. That's a glorious shot when it comes off, isn't it?
Great finish.
3 set points. Still chunched it away. He's got 2 set points still. That's not a crisis. All ready to receive that. Brilliant, got it. Took him 3 set points to get there, but he has taken it, and he has been the better player overall. A couple of little dips during the course of that first set, but overall, that's thoroughly deserved. Alfie Hewett takes the first set by 6 games to 3, and perhaps even more importantly from a neutral's point of view, the forecast for a deluge of rain at between 10 and 11 has not materialised. We are hearing glorious Nottingham sunshine.
It's the weather has changed. It's really hot here, and great finish there by Alfie. He dominated that last point. Gordon was just defending there, and again to have the composure after having two set points, then hitting a double fault, to come back and then finish it like that shows great mental strength.
Now we have the trainer on court here. I think I just heard from our umpire. Now, who would that be for?
I did see Alfie roll his wrist a little bit between points, but that seemed to be okay, so I'm not sure if Gordon's got something.
We may have a little delay here as the trainer arrives. Not too far here. It's not like Wimbledon where it takes a long time for the train to arrive. So just looking at a few of the highlights of Alfie from the first set. Interesting, because they've had to make an adjustment from clay to grass back to hard court in the space of quite a short space of time when you think about it. I mean, the French Open is May, and then July for the grass, and then back onto hard court, and they've got the US Open coming up soon. It's essentially 3 different surfaces in the space of about 3 months.
Yes, they also have a tarmac Super Series in France between the clay and the grass, so that's 4 surface changes, and that's very tough on them to try and get the feel of the courts. Looks like it is Alfie's forearm and wrist there. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a strain. But yes, we're working hard with the ITF at the moment to try and get more clay courts in the run-up to Roland Garros and more grass court tournaments in the run-up to Wimbledon, just so that we're playing on the appropriate surface, because that's what happens in the run-up to Australian and US Opens, that they're on the same surface, which allows the players then time to acclimatise to the right surface and then play at their best at the bigger events. So that's what we're working on, and hopefully we can have some events next year in this country at potentially the Queen's Club and Edgbaston for the players.
Meanwhile, we're having a look at the match on the adjoining court between Stefan Ude, for world number 1, and the current number 1, Gustavo Fernandez. And if I have a quick look across at the score, as I told you that Fernandez won the first set, and it is, can't see that bottom mark, it's 2, could be 2-love or 2-1, which is slightly out of my range, but Fernandez is looking very good for replacing the final. Of course, he'll be playing the winner of this, and won't Alfie off to a bit of a flyer. To make it. How much of a boon this year was it to have Surbiton ahead of Wimbledon?
It was brilliant. It was brilliant for the players. It gave them that practice on the grass courts. The only thing was that the grass at Surbiton was a little bit softer than what they're used to at Wimbledon. So Alfie fell out of his chair a couple of times.
We can't catch it from that either. Maybe Reid, mate. Maybe Reid.
3-2 to
3-2 to Hewett. Right, thank you for that. Yeah, it's just slightly out of our range. That fence could not be worse positioned as far as we're concerned. But the clay thing is awkward, isn't it? Trying to find locations in the build-up to Roland Garros, because we don't have any clay courts in this country of any note.
No, so there are a couple of events in France, but not at a big level. There's Strasbourg, but we're also making inquiries whether we could have integrated events potentially in Madrid. And there is an integrated event in Rome, but it's not for the top level of players, so maybe get that on the agenda as well, so that the players could do Rome, Madrid, and then Roland Garros. Which would be a nice little swing on the clay.
Because even more so with wheelchairs, the adaptability. I mean, people talk about how difficult it is for able-bodied tennis players to go from those surfaces, but in terms of getting the wheelchairs to move, we saw when it was a little bit wet at Wimbledon, just how much of an effect that has on the players and their manoeuvrability and exactly how they can play the game there.
You're absolutely correct. You know, the able-bodied players, as you said, you know, will need to adapt because it's a different bounce. The ball comes through differently, different speeds, different heights. So not only do the wheelchair players have to deal with that, but they have different friction of surface of pushing. So the clay provides one sort of resistance compared to hard court, and then the grass is even more resistance. So they do need to work on different things in the run-up to that, so that they get into the ball at the right time. So yeah, it all makes sense that we get these appropriate surfaces playing in swings of 2 or 3 events.
Just have a little montage here of Alfie, because you have just joined us here at Nottingham. Now on a glorious day, looking at the sky. There are some dark clouds away. They may well have skirted over us now. We might be okay for the foreseeable future. Alfie Hewett taking the first set against Gordon Reid by 6 games to 3. Number 3 in the world, leading the number 2 in the world, 2 Britons. At the moment, Norwich leading Rangers by a set to love. Norwich having their first game today, I think. I haven't seen that many long rallies in the game. That's one of the better ones.
A great forehand finish that time from Gordon. Starting to hit the ball a lot harder now, both players. Gordon knows that he's got to get right back into this match, and Alfie's now a bit confident with that set behind him, so the match could change a little bit here.
Ooh, just wide. Not very much. Just wonder, because of the trainer being required and called onto Alfie, whether he wants to get this done pretty quickly here. He doesn't want it to go to 3 because that will only aggravate whatever injury he's got.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not aware of him coming into the match with anything, so I'm not sure if something's happened in that first set. But yeah, if he's thinking that he's got a tough match tomorrow, potentially if he gets through this one, the shorter this one can be, the sooner he can get some treatment done and recover for tomorrow.
So as well see what his beloved Norwich do today, playing Fulham at Craven Cottage. Gordon is a Rangers supporter. They're not playing till tomorrow against Motherwell. So 1 set to Love, but Love won. Second set. Again, if that had been in, that side spin probably would have taken it well away from Alfie's racket, but just slightly ill-directed this time. Four doubles. Oh, that's brilliant. Well, you talk about the power game. Certainly have upped the intensity on both sides of the court.
Yeah, another great backhand from Gordon, cross court, but just letting the racket go a little bit more than he was in that first set.
Well, Gordon Reid takes advantage of the first break point he's had in the match to go and take a 2-love lead, and the momentum swing has started.
Yeah, and you can see Alfie visibly beating himself up a little bit here, and I think some of our players, Alfie Hewett, Andy Lapthorne, do role model themselves on Andy Murray a little bit, and you do get quite a bit of beating yourself up when it's not going your way, but Alfie can get right back in here.
Gordon's taking a little bit of pace off the serve to make sure it gets in now. The serve was rarely hitting the target in the first set. Oh, he gets it back with interest this time. Just getting up again, swirling.
your
Yeah, just in case there was any confusion. First set was won by Alfie Hewett by 6 games to 3.
$40-30. Game Reid.
But Alfie's getting that right degree of aggression, isn't it? Because he likes to be an aggressive player, he likes to take the ball on. But it's kind of tempering that, deciding when you're going to do that, being selective about when you do that. You can't do it all the time.
No, it's about that controlled aggression. Alfie is a player who is naturally quite aggressive anyway, and one of the things that has astonished us all is that, you know, he's never had any fear of going for balls, whether it's on the big points or whether it's just in the middle of a rally. He always takes the ball on. Obviously, as you start to move up the rankings and you're playing against better players, the ball comes back a lot harder and a lot more often, and you start to make a few more mistakes. So that's where then you need to start to work out, how much do I still go for this, and how much do I go at 80% or 60% to create an opening to then finish it off. I think we can see that Gordon is starting to just put a little bit more on his shots. As you rightly said, taking something off his first serve to make sure it's in, but then he's got the balance of what happens then if it comes back like that last one we just saw in the replay, if Alfie takes that ball.
So 1 break at the moment, but 3 love to Gordon Reid after conceding the first set by 6 games to 3. Well, wind didn't help that one. Wind was certainly involved in that rally. Oh, shame. Great retrieving by Alfie. That's the point, though.
15-14.
See signs of why Gordon Reid was number one of the world at the back end of 2016. Double break for the world number two. A complete change around, complete transformation in the match we've seen here. Alfie very much on top in the first set. Could have easily been 4 or 5 love up in the first set. As he got the job done 6-3, but double breakdown for Gordon Reid. First ever British Open semi-final between two Brits in the men's singles anyway. This may well be going to a third.
I think you called it from the very first game of the second set where you said Alfie was just losing a bit of focus and not doing so well, and Gordon's taking full advantage of that in the second set.
Left reserve.
The A game of Alfie Hewett definitely disappeared. And tellingly, Gordon's getting a lot of those first serves in, which he wasn't doing in the first set. Oh, brilliant. Quite brilliant. And that's what he's capable of doing. Just taking it from the very top draw. Making his opponent, in this case, the man ranked only one place below him in the world, look simply second best. Well, that's all one-way traffic in the second set. Alfie having no reply to Gordon Reid, and this has gone almost to the end of the second set. He tries 5 games to love. What Alfie won't want to be is bageled, because what we don't know, right, is the extent of this injury.
No, that's very true. It's very hard to say, you know, because Gordon looked ominously in control in the last couple of games there. His confidence is going up. Alfie looks unsettled since he had that medical timeout, and whether he is thinking about trying to finish this quickly, it's not. It's looking more and more likely like it's going to a third set now.
Anything noticeable in the game strategy from Gordon that's changed, apart from something I referred to, getting those first serves in? Outside of that?
He seems to be anticipating very well. You know what we talked about earlier, that they know each other so well. And whereas Alfie was potentially double bluffing him a bit in the first set, going back behind him and then pushing that wide, this set Gordon seems to be getting and retrieving everything that Alfie's thrown at him.
I was reading that correctly. It looked like it's 5 games all in the other match on the other court with Fernandez against Uday. And Fernandez took the first set 6-3. Well, the set may have gone, but he's still, those kind of points can just reinvigorate him again to get to positive start for set 3. Still shaking his head though. Winning the points, still shaking his head. Catch.
40 love.
This is the best game he's played in a long while.
Yeah, yeah. That last forehand was quality.
Game to 15. It just seems to me like he's talking to an imaginary person on the court. I know he's chastising himself, but he's obviously having a conversation with an imaginary, invisible person on the court sometimes, Alfie.
Sometimes he looks to our national coaches in the stand. He's been doing a lot of work with Stuart Wilkinson recently, and Stuart bears the brunt of a lot of the chattering that goes on. But it's quite difficult today for our national coaches because we work with both.
Yes, exactly. Signs though that Alfie Mark 1 is coming back.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing about him. He doesn't know what the words "give up" mean.
Well, I left it a bit too late in this set, but never know. The roar of the lion there. He took some of his head off with the ball. Grab our ball back, please. Thank you. That wasn't going to come back, was it? No stage.
15, 30.
Reamed away. Is it going up on getting the first 2 breaks he needs? set point.
Game and second set.
Yeah, and fairly comprehensively won as well by the world number 2. So we are going to a decider. 6-3 Alfie Hewett in the first. Gordon Reid taking the second 6-1. We are on for a third set. Just a little bit of momentum coming back Alfie Hewett's way into that, from his point of view, rather disappointing set, but what's your money for the third?
You put me on the spot now. Coming into the match, I gave Alfie a slight advantage. You always knew that Gordon had something else in the locker room, and he's just shown class there. But I think Alfie can step it up one more time.
Certainly has a game to do it, though Gordon, in their head-to-head record, has got the better. Seems to be a lot of movement over on the other court. They've actually finished. That must mean that Fernandez has won the game in straights against Stefan Uday. So it'll be the winner of this up against the world number 1 in the singles final tomorrow. Just getting a little bit chilly. We'll talk about how the Costa del Nottingham was looking about half an hour ago. Very nice and sunny. So we're just looking at a few of Gordon's highlights.
It's great to see how these two boys who are still young, especially Alfie, come through the junior ranks and are now playing at the top level of the seniors, as you said, world number 2 and number 3. And we've also got here at Nottingham today a junior event where we've got 24 young kids playing. It was great to see a lot of them come here at the start of this match before their tournament started to see their heroes, Gordon and Alfie, come out and do battle and aspire to doing the same in a few years' time.
Yeah, come out and see the Wimbledon doubles champions, who sadly are not in the final. They didn't make it through here, but both of them are Wimbledon champions from this year. Who's going to come out on top in this one, though? One set all. Obviously, Alfie Hewett to serve. Just going a little bit overcast. See if we can get this match done. There was a threat yesterday that some of the matches have to go indoors, but we haven't quite got to that stage yet. A bit casual by Gordon there.
Yeah, as we've said, that's one of his favourite ways to win points, come to the net and just use his hands, but yeah, didn't seem to really concentrate and focus on that.
Double number 5. Well, he's done that a few times in the match. What we call the old 1-2 punch. Drive your opponent out wide on one wing and then capitalise on the other. That's what he does. So centre piece, and Alfie Hewett holds on. Start of the third. So who matches up better with Gustavo Fernandez tomorrow?
I prefer Alfie to play him tomorrow, especially off the back of just doing what he did in Roland Garros. Gustavo's been quite a bit of a bogey opponent for Gordon in the past.
That's who one of these two will face in the final on Sunday, but still quite a ways to go in this semi-final. Gordon Reid to serve. Made it difficult for himself, didn't he?
Just let go bounce too low. Well, it seems to be either sheer brilliance or dumping it in the bottom of the net for Alfie.
Very little in between, is there? The second double for Gordon. First serve's gone again. Sure you didn't pick that up. We did, but hopefully the effects mics didn't pick up what he said there. Yeah, he's getting cranky with himself again. Let's get that kind of, you know, that level where you try to spur yourself on, and obviously trying to encourage yourself, and then getting down to yourself and really starting to actually, your game starts to go to pieces, and we saw that in the second set.
I still think, when you look back at history, it was only Johnny McEnroe that used to get really angry and spur himself on. Everybody else, when they get really angry, it affects their game at some point.
Wins become a factor.
15.
Got it. Just. Oh, brilliant. You know, I was just about to say, is he being too passive at that point, staying too deep? And I thought he'd lost it for all money, and somehow he managed to retrieve it. But it's just maybe staying a bit too deep at the moment.
Yeah, he's staying quite far behind that baseline and just slightly getting a bit passive.
Too good. Yeah, elements of the game are coming back. Couple of good points back to back. One he had no right to win at all, and he did. And we're on serve in the third. 2 games to 1, 6-3 to Alfie Hewett first set. Gordon Reid 6-1 in the second. And let's talk. We've talked a lot about Alfie, so let's talk quite a bit about Gordon here. Really wants to reclaim that number one. It's very important to him, isn't it? I mean, he hasn't won a singles title this year either, which is another thing he wants to do when the US Open comes around. But to reclaim that number one position where he was at the back end of 2016.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's been pretty tough for Gordon. You know, he hasn't had a bad season. He's won a Super Series, his first Super Series in Australia, I think it was. Oh no, it was in Japan. So he hasn't had a bad season. But we just, I think, compare it to what he did last year. Winning Australian Open Grand Slam, winning Wimbledon singles and doubles, winning the gold at Rio. And it must be quite tough for him as well, you know, to keep motivating himself. You know, a lot of top athletes have a dip, you know, and he hasn't had any time off and went straight back into competition. So it's tough for him, and you know, all credit to him for keeping on coming out and putting in pretty good performances. But as you said, you know, he needs to get back to that number one position.
There's not much you can do about that, Alfie. I'm sorry, you can't have it back. Great reaction, but totally nonsensical. The net is not his friend at the moment. A very late acknowledgement by Gordon as well.
Love.
Alfie didn't think it was out. It was called out. They're not going to overrule. We don't have Hawkeye here or anything like that. We have our own Hawkeye because we're right on top of that line virtually, but no overall necessary from the chair. So 2-2. Go with serve. Alfie still thinking about that point. It's come and gone. Not quite as intense as it was a few moments ago, but still having a little bit of effect on the serve. Alfie Hewett to serve, set all, 2-all. Completely called out there. Did he miss Reid there?
I don't understand that one. I don't know, because the wind didn't seem to be that strong, so I think he just hesitated as to whether to smash it on the floor or not. Hesitated a bit too long and it was gone over.
One of the longer rallies of the game, of this match. Yep, that worked effectively. That was the smash that could have been, that wasn't.
Code violations, board abuse, warning. Mr. Hewett.
Six doubles for Alfie Hewett. Took a bit of his angst out on the ball. Excellent point. Excellent point by both men. But Gordon Reid coming out on top, and first strike in set 3 potentially here. Double number 7, and that is the first break, and maybe the decisive break in set number 3. Gordon Reid edges in front by 3 games to 2, and Alfie's just gone AWOL in his game, and perhaps mentally as well.
Yeah, that could be a big moment in this match. Alfie having points to win the game, double faulting again, and then getting a bit frustrated and taking it out on the ball, and then losing the match. So being talked to by the umpire now. I mean, it's not really in his character to do anything like that maliciously, but you know, Gordon again. You know, that was one of the first fist pumps I've seen Gordon do all match. You know, I wonder whether he's now believing that was a turning point as well. And
we can't actually explain that, can we?
no, I think he just misjudged that, and he was going to smash it, and he just couldn't retrieve it then. He's going to have to get right back on it now, or this match could be done.
Yep. That's the fist bump you were referring to from Gordon. Obviously now feels he's in the ascendancy, has every reason to feel that, the scoreline being what it is. First break in the 3rd. Alfie wanting a bit more time at the chair. Three, 3-2, that's it all. Yeah, that's what he can do. Take a look at all those shots in the locket. They haven't disappeared in the last 10, 15 minutes, but just giving himself a little bit of a hole to dig himself out of at the moment. I still think he's too deep. I think he's too far back behind the baseline.
He's playing about 3 or 4 meters behind the baseline, and it's hard to then generate any forward momentum. Like that.
Only have shots, though. That's the whole point. That kind of, in microcosm, and analysis really tells you exactly what he can do. Now he's being more aggressive. See, he's coming in. That's his game, I think.
Absolutely.
Passive for Alfie doesn't really cut it for me.
There you go again.
Time to go to Alfie Mark 3, or maybe Mach 3 in this case. So much better when he plays like that. So much better. So, chance to get this break back. And he's done it. Done it just like that. Blink of an eye. And just at the verge of what I was saying, on the point of me saying he's being too passive, too far behind the baseline. What does he do? Comes forward on the baseline, wins 3 points.
Takes 4 balls on the rise, takes them early, back to his aggressive style of play, and gets the break back, and that shows great character.
3-all then. We definitely have a match on here. That's long, yes. I think there might be a slight eruption if that had been called. We could have called it from here, couldn't we? It's a real set of momentum switches here, isn't it?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's looking on top form. This is what we saw in the first set.
Absolutely.
That's what he was doing in the first set.
Taking the ball early, not giving Gordon a chance to recover.
It's the new Alfie. It's the Alfie we saw in the first set. We didn't see much of in the second. We saw elements of in the third. Now we're starting to see it pretty much all the way through. And from being a breakdown, he's got his nose back in front at 4-3. And it's not rocket science, and he knows that. But he plays his best tennis when he is being aggressive and when he's taking it to his opponent. I don't think anything actually works for him when he's being passive.
Oh, absolutely agree. I think at 3-2 down, 30 love down, he must have heard you. And he must have changed his style and come out, because he's hit 8 points, moving forwards onto the ball, playing aggressive, and he's won them all.
That's what he does, and that's why he's got himself to number 3 in the world. By doing that, from being 10 last year, this time last year, being number 10 in the world to number 3 in the world in the space of 12 months. And he hasn't done that by not changing his game. So, he's got plenty of support here, as is Gordon. They're very popular characters. And, from that fist bump, so have a little reconsiders Andy Lapthorne in front of your pitcher in the quad doubles final later today.
Next person. Love 15.
Point after point after point, being one aggressive. The backhand or forehands in this case. He's got a chance to make a bit of daylight between himself and Gordon Reid here.
15-14.
2 break points for a 5-3 lead. Got him. Yeah, a couple of great forehands in that game. And now Bia's breakdown
Final set.
is on the verge of booking his place in the final against Gustavo Fernandez tomorrow. What a change. What a change in attitude and also in game plan from Alfie Hewett here. That's what, 15 minutes? Completely transformed this game. Completely transformed this match.
Lovely.
Just a little bit too aggressive, but I won't chastise him for that. Oh, right on the line. Gordon did well to get that ball back in the first place, but came back with interest down the line. Just toying with him a bit with that wide serve, but right on the line. So about an hour and 45 minutes it's taken to get to this point. And here we are. 2 match points for the number 4 seed, Alfie Hewett, against the number 2, Gordon Reid. There it is, wrapped up. Been loads of peaks and troughs in the Alfie Hewett game, but he got it done in the end. Conceded the second set, 6-1. It was a break behind in the third. But when he got his act together, when he got his head back together, and got his game back to how he plays it best, there was only going to be one winner, and that's why he's the man very much on the up.
Yeah, and I think, again, as I said, it shows tremendous character for a 19-year-old. He went through that funny patch where he was at 2-2 and he got very upset. He took it out on the ball. He lost that game from having game points. And a little bit of a dip. He must have been thinking about that, the change of ends, thinking about it to go 30-love down on Gordon's serve. And then something happened. And what character to come back and win 4 games in a row and get to the final of the British Open. 19-year-old, absolutely brilliant, and the future's bright.
Future's very bright when he plays his A game and plays his best game. And his best game is being aggressive, it's being attacking, it's not being at the back of the court with his wheels virtually touching the backstop.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where the transformation happened. He started moving in, taking the ball in, and started being aggressive again.
So a good win. Say about an hour and 45 minutes it took to get the job done. But Alfie Hewett is through to a final with Gustavo Fernandez. Kind of what you predicted. Kind of what you wanted. I know it's nothing against Gordon, but you think that the way they match up, he's got a chance against Fernandez on Sunday.
yes, I do think he has a chance against Fernandez. And but we have to say as well, let's see what that injury was. Let's see if that was just a little tweak. But if he's fit, I know he's up for it, and I'm sure he'll have to play his aggressive style against Fernandez because he can't play any other.
Coming up next, we will have the women's doubles final. It's an all Dutch against American South African pairing. Thank you very much, Reid, and we'll be back with that doubles after we've given you the conclusion and some of the highlights of the men's singles semi-final between Alfie Hewett and Gordon Reid.
And the following players are going to stand to court, ready to play please. Marlene Barris, David Cruz, Daniel Mathewson.